My name is Dorian, this is SCN Comics, and we are getting into the Fall of X with Mutant First Strike #1. Our story starts off on a beautiful day in Milford, New Hampshire, United States, North America, Earth. Each frame has something like that. And then we have Krakoa. That looks like a cracker cocoon, right? I know Benny always says cracker cocoon when the flash is running. I mean, that looks like a cracker cocoon. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments. So it doesn't take long for this to hit all the news feeds. And as Ernie would say, they're on some Fox News bull. They already know it's a dirty bomb. Crazy part about it is they already know that it's a mutant dirty bomb. Now, how would they know that? They know because the real people that created this bomb also let them know about it. So now we're at Krakoa, and Bishop's the first one to step up. He wants to lead a team of first responders, you might as well say, to help out the people of Milford. And everybody's pretty much unanimous except for Sebastian Shaw, who's also on some Fox News bull. But Professor Xavier says, great idea, and he's giving them access to the heavy hitters. So on the next page, we go back to Milford, and it looks like a scene from like Resident Evil, The Walking Dead, minus the zombies. I mean, you got cops trying to break up riots. You got store owners not letting people into their stores, and all they want is supplies. I mean, they're even spray painting on the ground, help, need medicine and water. And then who comes down from the sky looking like some guardian angels? It's the X-Men. And also, let me add on that they beat the United States government there. So now we're on the Bloom, which is an Orchid satellite orbiting the Earth, which, if you didn't know who created the dirty bomb, now you do. But 9 times out of 10, you already knew that. And the guy that you see with the long hair is Judas Traveler. Now, technically, he is a mutant. He has very low level telepathy and telekinesis. He likes to say that he's on the same level as Professor Xavier and Jean Grey, but he is not. But he does convince some people that he is, but trust me, he's nowhere near. So one of his officers pretty much lets him know that the X-Men have arrived on the scene, and based off the personnel that they have, they could probably have the situation taken care of by the end of the day. And he pretty much is like, that's fine. That's not what our mission was about. You'll see what I'm talking about here at the end of the video. But he is like, even though we don't really need to, we might as well have some fun. We might as well go ahead and call in the dogs. So now we have Tempo, Tia, and Cerebra. I believe her name is pronounced Cerebra. Let me know in the comments if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Cerebra. They're pretty much at ground zero, and they're trying to figure out exactly what this dirty bomb consists of. So Tempo finds a skull, and it was crudely put together, and it wasn't meant to last and is actually deteriorating as she speaks, but she's going to use her power to pretty much stabilize it and also to roll back time to see exactly what this mutant looked like. Tia, using her power, she pretty much put up a gravity wall to keep the people out so that they can do their job and also keep them safe. And then as soon as they're about to see exactly what this mutant looks like, Scott's like, well, you need to hurry up because we got company. The dogs have been set loose, and to Scott's credit, he let loose with a huge optic blast. So now half the X-Men are still trying to give their relief efforts to the town. The other half is dealing with the dogs. Tempo's power has rolled back the clock enough to where now you can see a face, and it's just a kid. It's just a scared kid that was designed in a lab to become a weapon. So then Tempo's like, now we need to point our anger at the right people. So now the dogs probably aren't a match for the lower level X-Men, but like I said before, these are the heavy hitters. So the X-Men are pretty much taking out the dogs readily, like there's no issues. The leader's talking to Storm, and Storm pretty much creates like an air pocket in a cycle and blows that thing up. I mean, it's no match. So Jean pretty much decides she's done playing around and she's going to end the situation. She picks all of them up using telekinesis and she's about to dispose of them. But then she reads their mind and realizes that they have no idea that Orchid is behind this. They really do think it's the X-Men that caused all this. So in truth, they're being manipulated too. So the X-Men are like the best relief ever. Like the Red Cross need to have mutants on their roster. I mean, that's how good they are. Brung in their own medicine that works fantastically. They're using their mutant powers to actually help heal people and like do complicated surgeries. I mean, they're rebuilding the town, they're feeding the people. The mayor's on board because all she's seen is nothing but help out the X-Men. I mean, they're helping people heal from their loved ones that they lost. I mean, the X-Men are the shit when it comes to disaster relief. And to top it all off, Jean pretty much used her powers to make sure that the dogs are going to be chasing their tails for hours. So it looks like this all is going to have a happy ending to it, right? Wrong. Even though the dogs were there and were told by the townspeople that the mutants had nothing to do with it, they're still screaming this is a mutant problem. Even though the mayor is on national television telling the world that Krakoa had nothing to do with this, and despite that, they did nothing but help the town of Milford, all the television personality keeps saying is that we were all watching, and many people feel that this is yet again another act of mutant aggression. Any good trial attorney worth their weight in salt will tell you that the truth a lot of times has nothing to do with it. It's what you can prove. Until the X-Men can prove that Orchis was behind this, they will always be in the court of public opinion. And the X-Men have never bowled well in the court of public opinion. They don't call this the Fall of X for nothing, people.